Hello everybody, welcome to the second part of this series of tutorials on how to prepare for the Chevening interview. I hope you have already watched part 1. If you haven't, we are diving to question 11. This means that there are already 10 questions that we have discussed, asked and answered them. So I highly encourage you to watch those beginning because it's of course very important, and then come back here. If you have done so, thank you very much. Let's dive to the rest of the questions. Question number 11, part 2. How have you used your network to achieve something for yourself, company, or community, or overall your country? If you remember, question number 10 was about network. So this is how it's built up, and I encourage you to watch them. This question means that you have to not just talk about your networks. Like I explained, I have networked with the judges, with the prosecutors, with the businessmen and women, the law firms, lawyers, arbitrators, but how, and also the civil society and my professors and students, but how have I used them? You know, what was the benefit of my network? The way how I answered this question was when I founded my own social organization like RSO or Roshna, I founded a platform called ICC Mood, like International Criminal Law Mood for students. We didn't have funds for this. I just had the idea, but I didn't have all the facilities how to launch this. So how I run this was very easy because of the networks I had. How? I gave a presentation of my idea to my university alumni group, and I said, well, I have this social organization, I have this much facilities, but I want to run this program because I participated in a couple of moot courts outside Afghanistan, my country, and learned things. Now I want to contribute this to my other, fellow citizens. But I don't have a team to work for me, and I don't have budget. And then this Alumni Students Association, my network, said, okay, we want to be, your volunteer staff to work for free at your NGO or my social organization. But still, if we want to, manage, we want to, take like over 100 students from different provinces and parts of the country to come here, then we also needed to have some professors to teach them these extracurricular things. And then I had, during my internship, I was involved with the judges and prosecutors and lawyers. So I contacted those, people who were practically working in this field. And of course, I knocked on the door of 100 people and only 10 of them said yes, not all of them. And then from 10, only 5 were interested to cooperate until the end of the project, not all 10 of them. But still, that network helped me to, make a very small organization to a very big national organization that we started by the time I applied for the interview, my last interview. It was the 4th year that we had the ICC Moot in my country, Afghanistan. And our program reached, my team's program, it reached to over 5,000 participants from all over the country. So this is how I gave the example that a very small our organization could become or grew to a big one through networks that I have had. So you have to give practical examples. You cannot just say, well, I have a network and if I call them, they will answer me. That's not true. You have to give practical, okay, this is what I have done, and this is how these networks had helped me. Question 12, how can you contribute to Chevening network or community? I think you have to link your last or previous answer to this question as well, that the same way that you have done, worked with your previous networks, you can work again with your with the Chevening network. For example, you say, by the time I am in the UK, you have to give this is very important, guys. Chevening provides funds every month, almost every month, around £1,000 for each person. I don't know, maybe they have 10 of them or 20 of them. And then once you are in the UK, you can apply to this fund. You say, okay, I want to make a session to, I don't know, a party, to a cultural event in your university because you come from Africa. and you want to invite the rest of the Cheveners, for example, me from Afghanistan. I don't know about your culture, the African people's culture. And you, because you come from Africa, you have an event in London University, and you apply for £1,000 fund. The Chevening pays you. You make an event, a party, and then you give some presentation. You invite other Africans, and they are wearing your traditional clothes. And then you inform the rest of the Chevening alumni who are currently studying your cohorts. And then if I'm in London, or if I have a free time on those dates, I will come to your event and I will learn about your people, and I will, build a network, and then we can be connected. Today, if I'm here, I have over 50, I know over 50 Cheveners from different countries, like 30 of them are from Africa, because we were in these kind of networks. Okay, so this is how you can give practical examples that you want to work with the Chevening community at that time when you are in the UK, and also in the future once you go to your country, you will still be part of the Chevening network. And if you want to have an international seminar platform, online platform, you can invite them to take part, or work together. I hope that was a good one. Number 13, what are you doing currently and where do you work? So this, you jump back to your achievements and your things. So if you have not made it clear before what things you do currently, for example, you work at your law firm, you at a clinic, at a hospital, at an engineering company, production, whatever. So you say, okay, I work at this place and my job is exactly this thing. And in my free time, I work voluntarily for a book club, or for a, human rights campaign, or building construction for poor people, whatever you do. So you talk and you give example of the things that these organizations are talking. I think it's always good to know the vision and mission of your organization, the firm, company, government sector, private, whatever you're working. And 14th, what are the key important leadership functions you pay attention in your current job, position, company, or etc.? You should already know that people who get to this part, they should already have leadership skills. If you don't have it, then probably you won't land in this job, unless you are in a field that I don't know it. So you have to give examples that, okay, in this company, in this firm, in this job that I have, I have 20 subordinates, 5 subordinates, 300, maybe you have 1,000 employees working under your supervision. So you say, okay, these key leadership functions or examples are very important, and you explain them. I don't know how to answer for you, but let me explain my answer to this question. I was asked, I said, well, currently I have two important leadership positions. One is to work for the government sector, and the other is for the society. It is kind of public, but still we work for this community. At my government, I have around 15 to 20 subordinates or employees under working my supervision. So for me, a key function or a key important leadership function is to always listen to them, because even in the beginning when I started my job, because I didn't know anything and I was the deputy director immediately, so I had to listen a lot to learn. And also not to learn, but to be able to bring a change for them and the community. And then I had to also listen to the complaints of our clients, to the customer, to the local people. So trying to give these kind of examples, or maybe even better one. I'm not a good leader. So when it comes to my social organization that I'm the president, and we have programs that reach up to 5,000 students, as I already explained in my previous answer, I said, well, my responsibilities are bigger, and there are more functions that I'm paying attention. And there are, for example, this. Okay, and if I explain about all of them, this video is going to be again long, which I don't want this to be. What is your biggest achievement at your current job? I had two jobs, volunteered full-time job, like part-time job, and governmental full-time job. So I said, well, my biggest achievement at my governmental job is that I am in the process of launching institutional arbitration in Afghanistan for the first time. This is my big achievement, and this is not just one achievement. So there are a lot of small goals or objectives that help me to get to this place. Is, for example, my biggest achievement is that I got enough funds to train around 20 arbitrators or expert arbitrators in Afghanistan, to train 25 experts in mediation in Afghanistan, to train a few case managers at this ACDR. These are my achievements. And then my social organization achievements are that for the first time I launched International Criminal Court Moot Court competition in Afghanistan. For the first time I launched Afghanistan Legal Summit. For the first time I had the Peace and Reconciliation platform in Afghanistan, which was supported by Her Excellency, the First Lady of Afghanistan. And these are, there were also smaller ones, which I don't think they are very important. So these are how you should talk about yourself. If you have written a book, if you have published an important article that brought change, if you build a bridge, you have built a hospital, a clinic, brought change to your community, did something, you talk about them. Where do you want to be if you would work for this company, firm, organization, whatever, in the next 10 years? Okay, so be careful that you will be asked another question, what's your long-term goals? Okay, these two are different. When you want to answer this question, you normally concentrate about what you currently do. For example, I had these two jobs. I said, well, at my professional job, in the next 10 years, first of all, I don't want to be the deputy director of this center, not for the next 10 years. I will definitely want to be the director. I will definitely want to even leave this organization, because my organization, its institution, it works for the Afghanistan Ministry of Commerce. I even want to work in the Ministry of Commerce, evaluating or controlling this whole institution. It's not just this place, although it's a big one. This is the only center in the country, but still I want to work in a higher position. And I want to work for this field, like international commercial law. And the most important thing is that if you're applying for, to be a doctor, if you're applying to be an engineer, an IT, it's good to, be focused on what you really want to do. You don't say, well, now I'm studying international business or economy, and in the future I want to work for IT. In the next 10 years I want to be in the IT field developing, softwares. This is good if you want to make business out of it, but you have to focus on your field of work, field of study, and your goal, because those interviewers, they already have your 4 essays that you have written. They have them before themselves printed, and they have read it before you entered the room. So they want to make sure that everything is, everything you say is focused based on what you have written or not, or based on what you had already said. So this question, sometimes it can take you off the track, but be careful not to get out of it. And then I said my second part of my explanation was because I have my social organization, Roshna Social Organization. There, the mission is to educate future agents of change, whether if it's law or anything. So my future goal is in the next 10 years, as the president of my social organization and as the founder, I want to concentrate a lot on Roshna Social Organization so that we will be able to help and train more students, give them internships, prepare them to work for international criminal law field, international business law field, to empower women and young generation. We have these book clubs at social organization where you can get, have access to free books And in these places, we want to educate more people, we want to build more facilities, and this is the goal that I have. So you can give your own examples as of course based on your essays. 17, who is your role model? What have you learned from him or her? Give 1 to 3 examples. Well, you have to, I think it's always good and important to have a role model, which in my YouTube channel in the future, I'm not going to post videos regarding scholarships, but I'm going to post videos regarding mentorship, self-development, and you're going to see videos that I will talk about the role of having a role model in your life, or a mentor or a coach. You need to have, for example, you say my role model is Bill Gates, I don't know, Jeff Bezos, it's Wright brothers, or is it Obama, or I don't know, Dalai Lama, or the president of a country, or I don't know. There is a lot of people that can be role models. And you talk about, maybe it's me, your role model. Just kidding. So you talk about your role model and you say, okay, my role model is XYZ, and she is my role model because she is a very, talented woman. She had these great achievements. And these achievements, this is how I learned from these achievements. So because you have to say like XYZ, he is taught for human rights, and this is what I learned and what I did in my community. Or you say, I already explained about this achievement. Actually, I learned that achievement from this role model, and he was this and he was that. I talk about my own role model in details, because it's going to be like 20 minutes in another video that's coming in the next weeks. And you have to give a couple of examples. If you talk, for example, about Dalai Lama, you have to say these are his achievements. If you talk about Obama, you say, well, Obama was such a person, he brought such kind of changes. That's why he's my role model. By the way, if you haven't read his book, read A Promised Land. There are going to be 2 editions. At least the first edition is out there at the moment I'm recording this video. You should probably go on and read it. So number 18, what do you want to study and which university? You give your own answer. I want to study computer science, I want to study international relation, I want to study law, whatever, engineering. And which university? You say, well, I have 3 universities, this. Very simple, no explanation needed. Just be prepared. And of course, you have to remember the name of your universities. Do not be stuck, I don't know. And you have to know the prioritization of your university name. Sorry for the bad pronunciation. For example, this is my first selection, second selection, and the third one. And then you say, why this hierarchy? Why you have the first, second, and third? And by the way, if you want to change your university, feel free to do it when you talk about your university, or when you face this question. You say, well, my first university in the paper at the application process was University of Birmingham, but you don't say I don't like it, but I say, well, I think I found and I researched that University of London or Oxford or Cambridge or any other university is of course better and good. That's why I have already got my unconditional offer, and I want you to please change the system so that this is my first choice, and like second, third, so don't worry, you can do it. Number 19, why have you selected this field, master in X, Y, Z, anything it might be? You say, well, you have your own reasons. I don't want to explain anything for you, but still, let me explain mine. I said I chose international commercial law because of the following reasons. There were many. I didn't say 1, 2, 3. First reason, because I studied law, so I want to take my master's, of course, in law. The reason why I have international commercial law is because I participated in a lot of moot court competitions, like William Seavis International Commercial Moot Court Competition, World Trade Organization Commercial Moot Court Competition, and one more, which I don't remember now. And these I also participated in human rights and international criminal law, but these ones were related to business or commercial law. That's why I talked about them. And then I was coach for these platforms. And as I told you already in my previous video, my biggest achievement during my education career was that I was ranked 11th out of 440 participants from all around the world, and that was international commercial law moot court competition. That means I found in myself that I am good in commercial law compared to criminal law or constitutional law or family law or any other thing. That is why I think I'm made for this field, and I want to, proceed it. The next thing is because I had internships working for law firms who had concentrations in commercial law and business law and investment law in Afghanistan. And then after my graduation, because I was, a bit of an expert in this field, I started to work at the Afghanistan Chamber of Commerce and Afghanistan Center for Commercial Dispute Resolution. So I was the deputy director. So I did a lot of things for this field, and I know a lot of things in this field, and I like it. So I think I can be a good, agent of change for this field compared to being a criminal law lawyer or a family law lawyer to work at the court. And my aim for this field is not just to be a lawyer. I want to, bring changes. I just don't want to stand in the court and defend the case and do it for the next 40 years. No, I want to work for the ministry, and I want to bring these following changes. That's why I want to study this field. So I want you to concentrate as well. Don't just say, well, I want to be in IT field and just work in a database development and do networking every day for the rest of my life. No, I want to work for this field because I like it. I see these potential changes in the IT field. My country does not have access to like 5G or 6G internet. I want to go study and prepare myself for the future of artificial intelligence in my country. Or if you're a health sector, you talk about all those, technical health words and legal words, whatever it is. And 20, have you researched for your courses, and what subjects do you want to study? Of course, you should have researched. If you haven't, just do it now. Go and find the curriculum of your university and say, well, yes, I have the curriculum of my university, for example, University of Cambridge. And for my field of study, for example, if it's engineering, construction, civil engineering, I want to study, about the asphalt, construction of bridges, I don't know, construction of buildings like the Burj Khalifa or anything. I don't know about engineering, so I can't give you examples, but I give example about myself. Yes, I said I did. I love University of Aberdeen among all the universities, and it's a very good university. And the courses that I want to study is for example, international commercial law, and I will take it with this professor. I even said the name of the professor. She is, one of the famous professors that she is working as an editor in Kluwer Arbitration database online, where you have, a lot of articles, you can have access to them. So I said I will study WTO with this professor who actually works at the World Trade Organization in Geneva. And I want to take these classes that are not mandatory, and maybe I will change them, maybe not, but I will definitely go and take these classes in summer, first session, second, and also the third. And then I said, yes, I won't write a thesis or a dissertation. I will work for professional skills program that you do like internship. I didn't wrote a thesis or dissertation because they're all at this time only 6 universities in the UK offer professional skills in a state of dissertation. So talking about this, that only 6 universities in the whole UK provide professional skills, was also a very important thing that I was explaining for them, that I know such a thing exists in the UK, which even the interview panel doesn't know that. So this video is again 25 minutes. I hope you have enjoyed a lot. Please like and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and write your questions and comments below. I try my best to answer them. If I don't, I ask others to. Let's help each other and answer each other's question. So this was the end of part 2. I will see you back in part 3 very soon in the next video.